Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. Today we are going to discuss about education. Education means studying in order to obtain a deeper knowledge and understanding of a variety of subjects to be applied to daily life. Education is not limited to just knowledge from books but can also be obtained through practical experience outside of the classroom. There are many different understandings and definitions of what education is. One thing can be universally agreed upon, which is the importance of education. But what is the most important purpose of education? Azri, can you give us your idea about what is the most important purpose of education?
Okay, as we can know, there are many benefits and importance of education for the society. Okay, but now I would like to talk about the most important purpose of education. Okay, in my opinions, the most important purpose of education is education basically enable people to earn more money or income. Okay, nowadays many jobs have minimum educational requirement, and without meeting this requirement, you won't get your dream job. Okay. In addition, education isn't just piece of paper, but graduate in school or universities help you master both basic and advanced skill. For example, you can improve your writing, reading, and the most important is your communication skill. Okay, these social skills can serve you well in the job search. If the job you want, if although the job you want doesn't require a specific level of education, with that, the company will interest to get your service to work with their company. For example, they will pay you the salary, and this is the reason why I said that educational basically can help you to earn more money and income. Okay, last but not least, you need to know that the higher the level of education, the more income you will get as you achieve a better job. Amma, how about your opinion?
Sorry, Azri, but I think I'm partially agree with you because I think that the most important purpose of education is to produce people with a good character. This is firstly, we focus on the topic that is education. Education can be defined as teaching people to be a better person from unknowledgeable to fully knowledgeable about their study. So there is a bit different about educational people and uneducational people, such as educational people will work hard to discover their knowledge, while uneducational people took the knowledge for granted because of their laziness and because of their bad attitudes. So the effort to seek knowledge is a good sign that the person would welcome a good change in their life, while the other people who don't want to seek education, not because of the poverty or other limits, is just a person who is lack of good values in themselves. So in addition, people who discovered religious knowledge also would turn to be decent. One who has knowledge will always discover that knowledge is vast and make them more humble. So that's all from me. How about you, Fazana?
Thank you, Amma. I agree with you, but I am more into believing that the most important purpose of education is to contribute to the progress and development of the country. We must understand that education and development go hand in hand. The role of education in developing countries is a very important one, as lack of education can cause poverty and slow economic development of a country, especially if the country is a developing country. Education provides students with advanced knowledge and skill in wide range of subjects. Through attending various educational facilities, knowledge and students can get themselves prepared for and contributed to the development of the country, which clearly requires the effort from all professions. For instance, if you want to be an architect, you go to university to learn basic knowledge in constructions and designing. But if you want to be a doctor or nurse, you go to medicine school to get familiar and with all kind of medicines and acquire some first-hand experience. With the help of these educated and professional students, we might see the difference in our country in the future. Another example, if let's say that there are now numerous of professional architecture and engineering in our country, the architectures will help the country by creating or designing variety type of unique buildings, and with the help of the engineer, they will build the building and make it come true with all their professions and skills they have. It goes the same to doctors and nurses with their help and professions. Maybe they can help in decreasing the number in sick people by treating them well or make them treating progress less painful or less longer. This kind of example will only happen if they were educated. If uneducated person were to be any of this job, imagine what will happen to the buildings and the patients. Would then be helpful for our country? Generally speaking, that there is nothing which helps in developing a country more than education. Faris, how about you? What are your point of view regarding these topics?
Based on my opinion and my research, I think education serve a purpose for uniting the people in the country, because I believe that when everyone is very educated, they tend to understand people better. So they'll know about the races, they'll know about people's differences. Everyone has different opinion, different status. So when someone is educated, they tend to not discriminate other people. So they will be united if there's no misunderstanding between people. Secondly, I think schools should implement the study of other races culture, because when everyone is very educated about the culture of everyone else, they'll understand about the person more, why he does this specific thing, or I think it's because of his culture, why he does this, or because of his religion, because of his or her opinion is tied to the religion or their culture. So they won't discriminate other people's action, and they tend to understand people more. So when this happen, there will be no discrimination and misunderstanding between people, because they will be united. Lastly, I think since we are talking about education, how it can help, for my point, how can it help people to be united? I think the government should implement rules, not rules, just abolish the SJKC, the Sekolah Jenis Kebangsaan Cina, Sekolah Jenis Kebangsaan India in Malaysia, because this school, they tend to make people tied to their race or races. So if everyone was in one school since they were standard 1 until they are form 5, there will be around I think 11 years. They'll be more socially more socially accepting towards other people from other races, because they have been together since they are in standard 1 until form 5. 11 years of making friends with people from other races. I think this will kind of solve the racist problem in our country, because so people will be more united with this. That's all for my point. Okay, I think from all our discussion, from all the points given by everyone, we can really conclude that Fazana's point is, we believe that is the most acceptable, because education can really help the country to move forward. As like she said, more doctors and nurses to do their job, to help the sick people in the country, engineers to build buildings with the architect and all. It can really help the country to move forward, and also when they are united, as my point, this can really move the country forward also. And I think that's all from us. We thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.